let's try this again. Hey guys, it's me again. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Maya. I am a first-year undergrad student studying at the University of Warwick. I am studying biomedical sciences, which is not medicine, and my channel just kind of covers my life as a uni student, specifically focusing on my experience as a life sciences student, but also targeting everything from accommodation to just living. More videos to come, of course. So without further ado, let's dive right into today's video. Right, so today is not an ordinary day, nor is it an ordinary video. Today is Tuesday, the 11th of February. That is when I will be uploading this video. And on Tuesday, the 11th of February, someone decided to make it a day to celebrate women and girls in science internationally. So today is the International Day of Women and Girls in Science. Woohoo! What does that entail? Well, historically, women have been severely oppressed when it comes to pursuing careers in science. I think that's a pretty known fact. I mean, feminism is a thing. We're gonna cut that out. And with this oppression has just sort of come a celebration of those women who were able to break through and make really, really meaningful discoveries in all fields of science. Obviously for me, I'm more biological, medically focused, but that doesn't mean that women haven't impacted other fields. And I will come up with a couple of really important historical examples towards the end of this video, just to kind of emphasize how important women really have been in science. So in light of that, and in light of the progression that we as a gender have made through time to where we are today, there is a celebration. Is it like Christmas? No. Do people know about it? Also no. But that's why I'm making this video, to spread awareness and make this a real celebrated holiday. Maybe we'll get a hat. Yes, so I was lucky enough to be able to speak to an academic at the School of Life Sciences, recently finished PhD student, and also an undergrad student. And each of these three women have had their own different experiences with science. Each of them chose to pursue a career in science for different reasons. They do different things. And so I'm actually going to put these interviews in and kind of let you guys listen to the women in science that I managed to speak to. I'll be back afterwards to talk to you more, because I know how much you guys just love listening to me talk and talk and talk and talk.
Okay, so I'm Zoe Willis, and I recently finished my PhD here at Warwick. I've passed my Viva and just finished my corrections and looking for a job.
Lovely. So my first question for you is, as a woman, what has it been like for you following a path in science?
So particularly during my PhD, I've had a very strong female leader. So one of my supervisors was head of the school here at Life Sciences, and is a very strong leader in that sense for me.
Okay. Were there any moments during your path in science where you had any doubts or like specific challenges that you faced while moving forwards?
I suppose I had kind of doubts about my own capabilities. Kind of when I've been applying for jobs, you kind of feel like the more and more job applications you fill in, you feel like you're not good enough, you're never going to get anywhere. So yeah, that kind of feeling of I've done all this work but I don't actually feel capable has been a tough challenge.
Did you ever find that being a woman changed the way that you were able to approach your field and your subject?
I think possibly that self-doubt is perhaps something more linked to women than men. And I just tried to sort of overcome it and just ignore it and try and actually see now I am good at a lot of things.
Yeah.
That probably a male wouldn't have those same thoughts.
Okay. What would you say about your specific field of study and potential work is that interests you the most?
So I'm a quite obscure niche in life sciences is that I work with sheep, but we do a lot of work with farmers, and I think one of the best opportunities we've had in our PhDs in our research group is we do a lot of knowledge transfer with farmers, and we really kind of work on the impact and the application of our research, and that's really great to see. And obviously a lot of farmers are male, and most of us in our research group are female.
Right.
So having that different gender dynamic of we're the researchers and they're farmers
Yeah.
can be quite hard sometimes. But actually a lot more farmers now are female, so they seem to respond well.
Nice. Just one final question to ask you before we part ways. What is something that you think young girls who are considering potentially going into a career in science should know?
I would say don't doubt yourself. It's better to try something than never have tried it. I mean, you might find that something doesn't work for you, and you might find a particular science career path doesn't work for you, but if you don't try, you don't know. And I think everyone is a lot more capable than they think they are.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Saskya Booker. I'm the manager of the Advanced Bioimaging Research Technology Platform. It's a bit of a mouthful, but it means that I manage this electron microscope and the one next door, and some other bits of kit, and help users get data with those machines.
Awesome. So I just wanted to ask you a couple of quick questions. My first question is, as a female going into a science career, what would you say were any challenges or kind of difficulties that you've faced along the path?
I think I had it easy because my parents were both pharmacists. They'd done the same degree. So I never saw there was a difference. I never saw that there was a thing that women weren't supposed to do because my parents had the same degree. What could be more obvious than going to do that same degree as well? And then I did pharmacy, and that was probably about 60-40 women. So I've always been in slightly more female majority environments in that sense anyway. I did think about doing either chemistry or biology, but sort of wasn't sure what the career options were for those things. So I picked pharmacy as a sort of mix of both, and ended up doing research anyway.
What would you say is your favourite part about what you study?
I study a variety of things. I get to look at whatever people bring down here for me to look at, and it's really cool, the variety especially, and the different cool things that people bring down for me to look at. But I think my favourite must be bacteriophage. They're just such mad looking things.
And what would you say was your biggest inspiration or motivation to actually pursue this path in science?
I want to find stuff out and look at different things and find out how they work. The good thing about microscopy is that you can actually see stuff, and with electron microscopes especially, the things you're looking at are so almost unimaginably tiny that it's just really cool to look at them. I remember seeing a textbook with a cell section where you could see all the organelles, and just being fascinated with that, and then I got to play with the electron microscope for myself, and I love it.
Awesome. So on a parting note, do you have a message or anything that you'd like to say to other girls who are considering following a path in science?
Do it. Science is cool, and anyone who says it isn't for you because you're a girl, they should be ignored.
Okay, so this is Anna. She is my fellow course mate and very, very close friend of the year. Shall we begin?
Yes.
Lovely. So my first question for you is, why did you choose to follow a science degree at university?
Why just science? I'm really passionate about biology, and specifically human biology. That's why I went for biomedical science instead of just biology. And the human body just interests me, and some people feel like if you are interested in the human body, you have to be a doctor. And I don't think so. I feel like you can just study the body just to see like where it can go further.
Great. So do you have any idea of like what kind of path you want to follow with your degree afterwards?
I'm really into stem cells. It's one thing I want to like do an internship in and see if I can study it later on and specialize in it and hopefully do some research on it.
Nice. So far, how are you liking your choice to pursue a science degree? Your course, the university?
Oh, I'm loving the fact that I chose Warwick. I really like the university. I think it's one of the best universities. Especially I feel like a campus uni for an undergrad degree is very important. It gives a different experience to a city university, so I'm really happy with the university choice. What was that? The
Course.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, it's really nice. I'm really interested in it. If you love biology, you should definitely, human biology, you should definitely do biomed.
Awesome. Okay, final note, Anna.
Yeah.
What's one message you want to pass along to other young girls who are considering pursuing science?
But definitely to go ahead and pursue it. Like it doesn't matter, even if you have the tiniest interest in it, if you don't pursue it now, you'll never get a chance to pursue it. At this age, you should explore everything you can. And then later on, if it wears off, that's fine. But like, if you have an interest in it, go for it, definitely.
So, I hope you guys enjoyed watching those interviews. I felt really lucky to be able to speak to some of these women and kind of get their experiences. And while these 3 women might not be Nobel Prize winners or super duper famous in the world, I think each of them is making an impact, and that's really what matters. Aside from the 3 women that you saw me speak to, I also spoke to some of the other academics at the school who either couldn't or didn't want to be filmed, and they gave me answers to a set of questions that I asked them, basically the interview questions, and I'd just like to share some of them because I thought they were really, really motivational. And I think that's the whole point of this video. This video is to inform, to kind of show you guys other females, their stories, but it's also to motivate you. It's to motivate you to, you know what, go out there and chase after what you want to study. If you want to study science, don't let being a girl stop you, don't let being a boy stop you, don't let being yourself stop you. I mean, science is for everyone. Science is, it's interesting, it's fantastic, it's the basis of the world as we know it. It defines everything, and I think it's incredible if that's something that you want to study. You don't have to go into it if you don't want to, but if you do, go for it. As you can tell, I like science. I mean, clearly, I chose a science degree. You don't choose a science degree if you don't like science. Just don't do it. Yeah, don't do it. But anyways, so here are some of the answers, the best answers that I got. Okay, so one of the answers that I got for my question of why do you think it's important for young girls to study science was that science actually shows you how the world works. So this was told to me by an academic. Her name is Katrine Wallace. She said she's actually one of my lecturers, and she's a part of the School of Life Sciences. Obviously, she mainly focuses on protein studies as well, which is really interesting. She found her niche in that. And so what she told me here is that she thinks it's important to get as many people as possible interested and into science, because you can't just assume that all the best scientists are going to be of one gender or of one type of person. You're going to have extremely amazing male scientists, you're going to have extremely amazing female scientists, and you just have to get everyone involved, because the more great minds you have in one place, the bigger your discoveries and scientific expeditions are going to be. And that is what she told me. And my favorite phrase that she said throughout our entire interview was, gender doesn't mean you're good at science. It doesn't. If you're good at science, you're good at science. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter how you're looked at by the world, how you're classified. Gender doesn't define what you're good at. And I loved that. I thought that was very empowering. Woo. And I mean, most of these women that I spoke to, most of them have had a wonderful experience. They've all done something that they loved, but a lot of them have told me that it's been very spontaneous for them. Their path to science wasn't a set, I want to do science, I want to do this, I'm going to do this. It was sort of an idea of, well, this is kind of interesting, let's see where it goes. And I feel like that really applies to me, because while I have always been a bit more scientifically oriented, I've switched between wanting to do a business degree, wanting to do a finance degree, wanting to go into just completely like the arts and do theater. At one point I wanted to study English because I read a book where the main character studied English and she seemed to enjoy it so much that I thought that's what I wanted to do. So I have changed my mind immensely over the years, but the one thing that's kind of stayed constant is my love for understanding how the human body works. I think that's one reason why I specifically went into this field. I wanted to be a surgeon when I was little, particularly, I don't know if you can see it, a brain and a heart surgeon, which is why I got that little piece of artwork up there on my wall. Because I feel like they're two of the more complicated organs, and in my mind, performing surgery on them to save someone's life was just incredible. But then, things changed. I guess I moved and I changed my mind a little bit, but I still always stayed kind of really interested in that, medically oriented. I decided that being a surgeon wasn't a good option for me because after a while I realized I don't have the most steady hands all the time, and obviously if you're going to be a surgeon, especially on something as delicate as a human heart or a brain, you really do need to have steady hands. So while it's still something like if today all of a sudden I had the most steady hands, I would dive right into it because it's so fascinating. But because of that, I decided, okay, I'm not going to put people's lives at risk. Surgery is not an option for me, but I still do want to understand everything and I do want to pursue it. So I looked into other fields of medicine, nursing, etc. And then as I got closer to the end of my A-levels and I started looking into courses to potentially apply for, I discovered biomedical sciences, and it was just perfect. It was everything I wanted. It was the potential to go into medicine with the molecular understanding of the human body, but also going into anatomy and looking at it on a larger scale, and opening the fields of medicine is in drugs and pharmaceuticals, but also going into things like neurosciences and chemotherapy and oncology, which was incredible as well because I went to an oncology lab for some of my... I'm getting off topic here. Stop me. Yes, basically I like science. I think it's fascinating, and I love speaking to people who love science as much as I do. And basically, in light of today, I think today should not focus on just boosting up the women in science today, because women in science have it easier today than they did 50 years ago, 60 years ago, 100 years ago. And I mean, we all know famous scientists. You've got Marie Curie and women like Caroline Herschel, who was a German astronomer, and you've got people like Mary Anning, who was a fossil hunter, and Barbara McClintock, who was an American geneticist. And all of these fantastic women, Dorothy Hodgkins, Elizabeth Gareth Anderson, Grace Hopper, all of these women throughout history, fantastic women. I mean, Jane Goodall, I don't know if you've heard of her. She dealt with chimpanzees, and she just sat and studied them and kind of became almost friendly with them, and she was so enthusiastic about it, but very few people supported her originally. And it was by chance, really, that National Geographic went, you know what, we're gonna fund you. And she got to look at the behaviors of chimpanzees and how they work, and it was really, really fascinating to read about her as well. I'm getting off topic again, I do this. I'm so bad at staying on topic. Back to the point. Basically, women have helped science just as much as men have. Some of the most important scientific discoveries have been backed up by women who've been working in a men's lab, and originally they were really underappreciated. A woman could never run a lab originally. That was unheard of. She could work for a man. I mean, some men really did see the potential that women had. They didn't discard all women as completely useless, but you still couldn't accept that the woman should run this or the woman should be in charge. No, she can give me all the ideas, but I'm gonna take all the credit for them. That happened, but it's changed. Today, you have women running labs. You have completely all-female labs. One of the academics that I spoke to, she was running a lab with PhD students, and she told me that, like, as I was asking her the question, she realized it's mostly just young women and maybe one or two guys in there, and she just kind of went, now that I'm thinking about it, that's really incredible. And I think it is. I think it's fantastic. So today, while it is International Day of Women and Girls in Science, and I am promoting that and I'm supporting it, I think it should be renamed, well, it shouldn't be renamed, but it should be re-understood, as I'm not just saying go women in science. I am saying that, but I'm also saying go men in science. I'm saying go science, woo, but I'm also saying go the progression that has been made for women in science. That's what this is. It's a celebration of the challenges that women have overcome to give my generation, my little sister's generation, my children's generations, and all the future women to come the opportunity to do what they want. The opportunity to discover things, to contribute to society, to make these discoveries, to bring all of the most brilliant minds of the world, male and female, together. Oh, okay. And on that note, happy Tuesday. And I will be posting a day in the life video soon as well, so look out for that. If you guys have an opinion on this, if you guys maybe wanted to hear a bit more, or I don't know, you think that what I'm saying is just complete what is she going on about, or I don't know, any comments, just comment them down below. I'd love to read what you guys think. Yeah, any questions you have for me as well. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to keep up with my videos, because I will be trying to post more often than I have been. I'm gonna try and aim for once a week, maybe. Let's go with once every 2 weeks, just to be sure, but if I get it out once a week, well, yay. Yeah, on that note, talk to you guys later.